Vice-Chancellor, fellow council members and staff of the university, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. To members of a university, a ceremony for the presentation of awards is an important and happy occasion. To all of you, I extend a very warm welcome. To graduates, I offer congratulations and best wishes. Not only is it your day today, it's the 100th birthday of Australia's parliamentary democracy, an auspicious day on many counts. The university's mission commits it to the achieving international excellence in education and research. It is also committed to work through partnerships for regional and global enrichment. In the area of teaching and learning, the university aims to provide an education to all students which will equip them intellectually to the best intellectual standards. The university's goal is to develop graduates whose knowledge, skills, abilities and attitudes are highly valued and allows them to contribute to the workplace and the broader community and enjoy a rich and fulfilling life. Whether you are here today to celebrate your first undergraduate degree, a postgraduate coursework degree, or the research higher degree of Doctor of Philosophy, you have acquired comprehensive and well-founded knowledge in the relevant discipline, appropriate professional knowledge and skills, the ability to think logically and laterally, critically and creatively, and to use these qualities effectively in decision-making and problem-solving. There are two critical tests of the quality of education. One relates to your own satisfaction, and the other to employability and employer satisfaction. As new graduates, you have received the Graduate Careers Council of Australia's Graduate Destination Survey and the Course Experience Questionnaire. I hope you take the time to fill it in, but responses to these two instruments by graduates from previous years demonstrates a very high level of satisfaction with their educational experience at the University of Newcastle, and I hope you've experienced the same. In addition, commencing salaries for Newcastle graduates continue to be higher than the national average, indicating that our graduates are highly competitive against those of Australian universities. Employer satisfaction, as reported in the university's own employer survey, is also very pleasing. The speed and nature of change in our society today is such that whatever qualification you have completed, you will need to be engaged in lifelong learning to be and remain successful and valued as a citizen and employee or manager. I'm confident that the skills which you have acquired during your study at this university will stimulate the continuous search for more knowledge and understanding. These in turn will equip you to make significant contributions to the local, national, and I imagine in the case of some, the international community. In the area of research performance, the university currently ranks 9th out of 39 public universities in Australia. It has an annual research income of about $25 million and a total annual expenditure on research projects, research scholarships and research infrastructure of about $35 million. That is an outstanding achievement which enhances the quality of teaching and the university's reputation. I take this opportunity to remind those receiving their testamers today that as graduates of the university, you automatically become members of the graduate body, the convocation. You thus join more than 50,000 other graduates worldwide and have an opportunity through elected council representatives to become involved in the governance and development of the university. I now call on the Dean of the Faculty of Economics and Commerce to present graduates from that faculty.
Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Economics, David Aslaby. Thomas Armand. Greg Asher. Natalie Boyko. William Brown. Shane Chisholm. Grant Cutmore. Amanda Dadd. Peter Sutton Davis. Julie Gomez. Megan Hardy. Richard Harris. Peter Harrison. Danielle Hocking. Manisha Howard. Nicholas Mills. Brent Richards. Ben Sharp. Andrew Simpson. Joshua White. Wilson Wong. Rebecca Wood. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate for the award of the combined degrees of Bachelor of Economics and Bachelor of Commerce. The graduate has studied for both awards simultaneously, John Smith. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate for the award of the combined degrees of Bachelor of Economics and Bachelor of Business. The graduate has studied for both awards simultaneously, Jodie Daniels. Chancellor, a university medal may be awarded to a candidate who has achieved first-class honours and displayed outstanding academic ability. In assessing ability, the graduate's record throughout the whole degree course is taken into account. In addition to achieving consistently high grades, the graduate must have completed at least half of their degree requirements at this university. Chancellor, I present to you graduates for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Economics with Honours Class 1 and the University Medal, Tali Dewan. Also receiving first-class honours in economics and the University Medal, Louise Wilkinson. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Information Science, Simon Barlow. Tony Brown. Yuk Hui Cheng. Mark Daly. Sharon Frank. Stephen Haddow. Jackie Ho. Kevin Hui. Adrian Jansen. Michael Kime. Roberta Lau. Brian Law. Anthony Lorraine. Chantel Peterson. Thomas Ratage. Todd Slatter. Brenton Smith. Christopher Stanton. Teresa Tan. Stephen Veig. Adam Walton. Glenn Willis. Hinyai Eric Wong. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Information Science with Honours Class 1, Leaf as a Party. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Information Science with Honours Class 1 and the University Medal, Quan Tran. Chancellor, I present to you a candidate who has satisfied the requirements for the award of the Graduate Certificate in Business Administration, Lisa Holverston. Chancellor, I present to you a candidate who has satisfied the requirements for the award of the Graduate Certificate in Human Resource Management and Industrial Relations, Sawaya Ahmed. Chancellor, I present to you a candidate who has satisfied the requirements for the award of the Graduate Diploma in Business Administration, Catherine Dugas. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Master of Business Administration, Graham Donovan. Habida Abdul Hamid. Shi Huang. Susan Ivans. Wei Ling Kuo. Barry Lacey. Peter Newton. Bruce Smith. Alan Taverner. Salnoa Vafasuuga. Mark Vincer. Julianne Walsh. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Human Resource Management, Master of Human Resource Management and Industrial Relations, Azizan Aziz. Michelle Campbell. Afiza Kassan. Lars Fleischmann. Abdul Harun. Lucia Middleton. Heather Osborne. Douglas Plant. Teresa Thong. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Master of Marketing, Chi Kuat Fong. Chong Kim Yang. Paul Harrison. Roger Collar. Yen Lee. Mohammed Massif. On Weng Kai. Mark Sargent. Lim Yun Tan. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Economics and Commerce.
I now call on the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering to present graduates from that faculty.
Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Computer Science. Benjamin Barnes. Luke Bellamy. Danny Boynia. Bradley Burns. Thomas Byrne. Michael Caddies. Kerry Chan. Michael Coleman. Mark Cowan. Paul Dennison. Rory Ford. Paul Griffiths. Vanya Ivanovic. Raja Jamal. Stefan Lampi. Oliver Massens. Andrew Myers. Timothy Saunders. James Spear. Alexander Swain. Andrew Taylor. Lukasz Viklant. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate for the award of the combined degrees of Bachelor of Computer Science and Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Engineering with Honours Class 1. The graduate has studied for both awards simultaneously. Michael Yates. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Computer Science with Honours Class 2, Division 1, Eka Gautama. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Computer Science with Honours Class 1 and the University Medal, Christopher Ucho. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Chemical Engineering, Jason Chandler. Scott Hatton. Renee Mead. Daniel Ross. Nilesh Shankar. Sumitra Sumalingam. Michelle White. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Chemical Engineering with Honours Class 2, Division 2, Ashley Snedden. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Chemical Engineering with Honours Class 2, Division 1, Martin Adenal. Petter Marichal. Andrew Wilson. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Chemical Engineering with Honours Class 1, Nigel Tame. Louise Walker. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Chemical Engineering with Honours Class 1 and the University Medal, Ellen DeRucci. With Honours Class 1 and the University Medal, Miriam Pepper. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering, Richard Boudin. Lenny Hatojo. Jacob Latta. Charles Roddenby. Murray Towndrow. Paul Whedon. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering with Honours Class 2, Division 2. Toby Brown. Anthony Griffiths. Joel Rosenthal. David Wilkes. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate for the award of the combined degrees of Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering with Honours Class 2 Division 2 and Bachelor of Surveying with Honours Class 2 Division 2. The graduate has studied for both awards simultaneously. Andrew Robertson. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering with Honours Class 2 Division 1. Paul Watson. Vincent Wong. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate for the award of the combined degrees of Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering with Honours Class 2 Division 1 and Bachelor of Surveying with Honours Class 2 Division 1. The graduate has studied for both awards simultaneously. Ben Phillipson. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering with Honours Class 1. Trevor Clack. Nigel Dobson. Daniel Evans. Daniel Jack. Christian Kirridge. Brent Thomas. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate for the award of the combined degrees of Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering with Honours Class 1 and Bachelor of Surveying with Honours Class 1. The graduate has studied for both awards simultaneously. Tom Machewski. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Engineering. Stuart Bargon. Arian Blishen. Richard Carmichael. Brendan Clark. Mark McDougall. Tony Parazanovich. Yoshihisa Takahashi. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate for the award of the combined degrees of Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Engineering and Bachelor of Computer Science. The graduate has studied for both awards simultaneously. Joseph Vo. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Engineering with Honours Class 2, Division 2. Brendan Crawford. Jeremy Yarnold. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Engineering with Honours Class 2, Division 1. Brendan Gregg. Timothy O'Brien. Gregory Swanson. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate for the award of the combined degrees of Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Engineering with Honours Class 2 Division 1 and Bachelor of Computer Science. The graduate has studied for both awards simultaneously. Jonathan Hopper. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical Engineering. Joseph Lyovich. David Marr. Andrew Punch. Jonathan Smith. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate for the award of the combined degrees of Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical Engineering and Bachelor of Mathematics. The graduate has studied for both awards simultaneously. Justin Gilmore. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical Engineering with Honours Class 2, Division 2. Patrick Guinea. Peter Johnston. Cam Ping. Anthony Podsiadly. Chris Watts. Edward Wolfe. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical Engineering with Honours Class 2, Division 1. Ian Cook. Peter Hyde. Raymond Palmer. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical Engineering with Honours Class 1. Stephen Allen. Raymond Brown. Glenn Ford. Matthew Lane. Benjamin Verbovi. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical Engineering with Honours Class 1 and the University Medal. Stephen Smith. With Honours Class 1 and the University Medal, Peter Sokolowski. And with Honours Class 1 and University Medal, Terence Summers. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Environmental Engineering. Matthew Butler. Wendy Faint. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Environmental Engineering with Honours Class 2, Division 2. Tristram Boosted. Ashley Cooper. Leon Dawes. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Environmental Engineering with Honours Class 1. Kelly Davis. Tony McClement. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Industrial Engineering with Honours Class 1, Simon Hanson. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering. Ian Andrew. Pablo Bolito. Andrew Bradbury. Lincoln Hill. Stephen Kosakevich. Jodie Osgood. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering with Honours Class 2, Division 2. Mark Drinkwater. Stuart Eddy. David Seckham. King Wong. Travers Wood. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering and Mechanical Engineering with Honours Class 2, Division 1. Stephen Allen. John Doyle. Daniel Marr. Stuart Smith. Peter Wormold. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering and Mechanical Engineering with Honours Class 1. Timothy Brown. Rebecca Griffiths. Andrew Reid. Kenneth Williams. Chancellor, today we're recognising the first graduates for the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Software Engineering. I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Software Engineering with Honours Class 2, Division 2, Wendy Wang. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Software Engineering with Honours Class 2, Division 1, Benjamin Welsh. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Software Engineering with Honours Class 1, Stephen Bott. Michael Quinlan. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Surveying, Philip Chamberlain. Jamie Costello. Brian Hammonds. Wolfgang Sachenow. Chancellor, the late Jason Shelton qualified for the degree of Bachelor of Surveying earlier this year. To Jason's parents and other family members who are here today, we wish to convey our deep condolences at Jason's untimely death. I would like to invite Mr. and Mrs. Shelton to come forward to receive Jason's testament. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Surveying with Honours Class 2, Division 2, Nigel Delfs. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Surveying with Honours Class 2, Division 1, Adrian Simpson. Chancellor, I present to you the first graduate of the degree of Master of Engineering Management, Mark Hughes. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Master of Engineering Science, Philip Stewart. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Master of Information Technology, Shane Jenkins. Richard Murphy. Damrong Panich. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Engineering.
I now call on the Dean of the Faculty of Music to present graduates from that faculty.
Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Music. Joanne Cook. Eva Harrison. Gwendolyn Kemis. Diana Kingsland. Christina Miladinov. Peter Muddle. Aidan Parkinson. Daniela Patti. Melinda Priest. Lisa Scully. Nicole Siegel. Ingrid Silcock. Karen Tisdall. Trevor Whittaker. Katie Woods. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Music with Honours Class 2, Division 2, Ching Xiu Ye. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Music with Honours Class 2, Division 1, Yen Lin Sheng. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Music with Honours Class 1, Leanne Power. Chancellor, I present to you 4 graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Music with Honours Class 1 and the University Medal. Miriam Allen. Timothy Constable. Tracy Parker. Greg Smith. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Music.
I call on the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Research to present Research Higher Degree graduates.
Chancellor, I present to you Joseph Cho for the degree of Master of Creative Arts in Music. Mr. Cho's thesis is entitled Research in Vocal Performances. Chancellor, Joseph Cho. Chancellor, I present to you Mark de Lacy for the degree of Master of Engineering. Mr. de Lacy's thesis is entitled Industrial PID Control, a Practitioner's Approach. Chancellor, Mark de Lacy. Congratulations. Chancellor, I present to you Malcolm Edwards for the degree of Master of Engineering. Mr. Edwards' thesis is entitled Hierarchical Systems for Machine Vision. Chancellor, Malcolm Edwards. Congratulations. Chancellor, I present to you Alan McFadden for the degree of Master of Creative Arts in Music. Mr. McFadden's thesis is entitled The Creation of an Opera, Kiss Kiss, China Doll. Chancellor, Alan McFadden. Just a minute. Chancellor, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy is awarded to a graduate who has successfully completed a prescribed program of study, principally of research. A thesis embodying the outcomes of the research is the principal basis of examination. The degree is only awarded if the thesis makes a significant and original contribution to knowledge and to our understanding of the field of knowledge with which it is associated. Today, the University is proud to honour Doctor of Philosophy graduates who have satisfied these rigorous criteria for the award of the degree. Chancellor, I present to you Matthew Betchley, Bachelor of Engineering with Honours of this University. Dr. Betchley's thesis is entitled Aspects of the Dynamics of Small Horizontal Axis Wind Turbines. Chancellor, Dr. Betchley. Chancellor, I present to you Catherine Carmichael, Bachelor of Arts of this University. Dr. Carmichael's thesis is entitled Prior Knowledge and Exemplar Learning in Children's Concept Acquisition. Chancellor, Dr. Carmichael. Congratulations. Chancellor, I present to you Nicholas Ebrel, Bachelor of Engineering of this University. Dr. Ebrel's thesis is entitled The Influence of the Steel Substrate Entry Temperature on Wetting and Interfacial Resistance in Hot Dip Metallic Coatings. Chancellor, Dr. Ebrel. Welcome. Chancellor, I present to you Anthony Farmer, Bachelor of Science of this University and Master of Science of the University of New South Wales. Dr. Farmer's thesis is entitled The Ultrasonic Processing of Minerals, with particular reference to silica and heavy mineral sands. Chancellor, Dr. Farmer. Chancellor, I present to you Yuar Guo, Bachelor of Engineering of Wuhan University and Master of Engineering of the University of New South Wales. Dr. Guo's thesis is entitled Small Distance Impingement on Plane Turbulent Jets. Chancellor, Dr. Guo. Chancellor, I present to you Guanan Liu, Bachelor of Science of the Central China Normal University, Master of Engineering of Wuhan Iron and Steel University. Dr. Liu's thesis is entitled The Effect of Hydrodynamic Forces on Activated Sludge Growth. Chancellor, Dr. Liu. Chancellor, I present to you Guilherme Perez, Bachelor of Economics with Honours and Master of Commerce of this university. Dr. Perez's thesis is entitled The Selection of Service Providers by Ethnic Minority Consumers in a Culturally Diverse Society. Chancellor, Dr. Perez. Chancellor, I present to you Guolian Shan, Bachelor of Engineering of the Shanghai Institute of Mechanical Engineering and Master of Engineering of Tianjin University. Dr. Shan's thesis is entitled A Comprehensive Model of Coal Devolatilization. Chancellor, Dr. Shan. Chancellor, I present to you Heba Sugo, Bachelor of Applied Science in Materials Science of the New South Wales Institute of Technology, Master of Science of the University of Technology, Sydney. Dr. Sugo's thesis is entitled Strength and Microstructural Characteristics of the Brick-Mortar Bond. Chancellor, Dr. Sugo. Chancellor, I present to you David Waller, Bachelor of Arts of the University of Sydney, Master of Commerce. Chancellor, unfortunately we don't have a script for Dr. Sutton. I present to you Dr. Sutton. I apologise, sir. I apologise, Chancellor. I present to you Martin Sutton, Bachelor of Science at the University of New South Wales. Dr. Sutton's thesis is entitled Summable Graph Labellings and Their Applications. Chancellor, Dr. Sutton. My apologies. Chancellor, I present to you David Waller, Bachelor of Arts at the University of Sydney, Master of Commerce at the University of New South Wales. Dr. Waller's thesis is entitled Agency-Client Relationships and a Proposed Model for Political Campaign Advertising. Chancellor, Dr. Waller. Chancellor, I present to you Peter Waring, Bachelor of Commerce with Honours of this university. Dr. Waring's thesis is entitled Individualism and Collectivism in Contemporary Employment Relations, the Australian Black Coal Mining Industry Experience. Chancellor, Dr. Waring. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of Research Higher Degree graduates.
I now call on the Vice-Chancellor to present a candidate for an honorary degree.
Chancellor, I have pleasure in presenting to you George Lewin for admission to the degree of Doctor of Engineering, honoris causa. Chancellor, George Lewin is a classic example of a backyard inventor who has become a highly successful entrepreneur. He created the Triton range of woodworking machines which have caused something of a revolution in woodwork in Australia over the last quarter of a century. Even though he was supposed to have retired in 1999, he is still a self-confessed workaholic and has now become a philanthropist to help other inventors. A look at his family history will give us a better understanding of the man and give context to his view that everything happens for a reason. In 1939, George Lewin's parents were a well-to-do Jewish couple living in Poland with an infant son and a wide extended family and a rich cultural life. However, the rising scourge of Nazism swept it all away. George's parents and some close relatives and friends escaped to Russia, virtually with only the clothes on their backs, just days before Germany occupied Poland and herded the remaining Jews into ghettos and concentration camps. The Lewins suffered terrible deprivations during their 6 years as slave labourers in Stalinist Russia. Through sickness and starvation, they buried many relatives and friends there, including their young son, but at least they survived, while those who remained in Poland perished. Through those bitter experiences, the Lewins learnt that the only possessions which couldn't be taken from you were those that you kept in your head or your heart. Consequently, education and cultural enrichment were their highest priorities. This was closely followed by an almost obsessive need to work hard and earn money. In those bleak years in wartime Russia, money made the difference between being able to feed your children or watching them starve, between being able to pay for a doctor and medicine or having them die in your arms. By war's end, they were desperate to rebuild their shattered lives. Even though they were both in their 40s, they had two children, Alex, born in Poland in 1946, and George, born in Paris in 1949. The family migrated to Australia in 1950, penniless and with only a few words of English between them. For George's father, who was almost 50, and his mother, who was 45, it was a great struggle to rebuild their lives. Despite both of them working 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, they never got ahead financially. George and Alex grew up as latchkey kids and largely had to look after themselves until their parents came home from work late each evening. George says he developed his doggedly independent streak very early and was deeply imprinted with the messages that life wasn't meant to be easy and hard work won't kill you. Education was a high priority. George's parents' main focus was to live long enough to be able to send both children to university. George's father was also very active in Jewish cultural circles and insisted that the children had a good Jewish education as well. George was a very bright student during primary school, becoming dux of St Kilda Park State School at the end of Year 6. In Year 8, he had his first experience of woodwork. George undertook woodwork for half a day a week and the teacher took a shine to him. He was encouraged to build a writing desk rather than messing around with the pencil cases and tea towel holders that the other boys were making. That desk survived for 30 years and his father wrote 2 books and countless articles on it. He really enjoyed it, but unfortunately woodwork was not available at Elwood High School where George was enrolled for years 9 to 12, so it was a brief interlude. His general scholastic performance nosedived during those years, due mainly to a protracted and painful adolescence, and consequently George finished high school with a mediocre HSC pass. His results were disappointing for both George and his parents, but were enough to get him into his first choice, architecture at the University of Melbourne. He chose this course principally because his best friend had selected it, but within months George realised he'd made a poor choice and dropped out. He also had fallen in love with motorcycles. To the chagrin of his parents, George worked as a grease monkey at the local motorcycle shop to pay off his debt there. However, after a few months, George decided that he really wanted to become a journalist. He applied to various news organisations in Melbourne, but received knockbacks everywhere. With characteristic tenacity, he persisted with his search for any job at all in a newsroom anywhere. He finally got a job with ABC Radio as a copy boy, where he was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed to the point of obsequiousness. For example, the station stored all news stories for 1 month after going on air. George obtained permission to use those old stories to practice his sub-editing. His efforts were not in vain. He was talent spotted within 2 weeks. ABC Radio created a cadetship for him after having earlier told him there were no funds for any cadetships for 6 months. Midway through his cadetship in 1970, we went back to the University of Melbourne as an inaugural student in the Diploma of Journalism course, but found it quite irrelevant to his work as a journalist and dropped out of that as well. George was very good at his craft, completed his 4-year cadetship in 20 months and was promoted to D-grade journalist late in 1971. Following his mother's death in 1972, he went overseas with the dream of conquering Fleet Street, but he was unable to secure a position. Wandering through London one day, George applied almost as a joke for a job as an office temp through an employment agency. They laughed and observed, "Your legs are a bit hairy." Nonetheless, George was taken on because he had outstanding credentials, 50% faster speeds than they'd asked for in both shorthand and typing. At one of the organisations where he temped, he was introduced to the business of innovation development. He was offered a position as the inaugural employee of the Anglo Invention Development Corporation. His job was to write the prospectus, promotional material and suite of relevant forms for inventors to submit their ideas for an expert assessment at the cost of £25. George then discovered that he was also expected to be the expert panel which reviewed the submissions. He was also told to write back to all applicants seeking a further £75 for the full-blown analysis, also to be done by himself. He resigned at once, concerned at the unprincipled exploitation of unwary inventors. In the process, he had learnt a bit about patenting and innovation development, which was to come in handy later. George returned to Australia in 1973. Within days of returning, he was invited to return to the ABC, this time to television, at twice the salary he had earned before he left Australia. In 1975, George, then 26, had just bought his first house. He had a lot of free time during the day because he mostly worked night shift. So, egged on by his next-door neighbour who had a well-equipped workshop, he took up woodwork as a hobby and began making a dining table. But the neighbour abruptly moved out just as he was getting started, leaving him high and dry with only a few borrowed tools and no expertise. He cut and recut the legs so many times, first using it as a handsaw and then a power saw, trying to get them dead square and the same length, that the table shrunk a bit each time and in fact ended up as a coffee table. It was so hard to cut straight and square that he was on the verge of giving up on his newfound hobby. However, he thought there must be a better way. Necessity was indeed the mother of invention, and within a week or two he'd cobbled together a workbench for his own use to help him guide and control that power saw in order to finish the table. His first workbench attempt was made from odds and ends and was crude, but it worked. It enabled him to cross-cut the legs and the remaining timbers perfectly accurately. However, he struck a snag when he needed to rip and then groove the planks for the tabletop lengthwise. His homemade gadget was the wrong machine for the job. In one of those light globe moments of inspiration, he realised he could modify his bench to allow the saw to also be used upside down and thus rip and groove the planks as required. It did both jobs pretty well, albeit not very safely, but he promptly lost interest in the coffee table, which wasn't finished until 8 years later. The more he thought about it, the more he liked his workbench idea and thought it could have considerable potential as a consumer product. He became increasingly focused, indeed obsessed, with this idea. Through research at the Melbourne Patent Office, he discovered that his invention was original. He took out a provisional patent and had a more respectable-looking prototype built. Recognising his limitations in woodwork, engineering design, manufacturing, marketing and business, he then tried to license or sell the idea. After more than 16 months of rejections from manufacturers, wholesalers and resellers, he decided to build 100 of the machines himself in his garage at home. He'd sell them door to door if necessary. George borrowed $4,000, found a small struggling sheet metal factory and worked out a deal under which they could make the major components of 100 units, largely on credit and he would do the rest at home. He didn't have to sell them door to door. His Triton workbench was featured on the ABC television program, The Inventors, on the 6th of July 1976. The phone started to ring with orders immediately, and within 24 hours, he had over 1,000 orders. The next day, he resigned from his career in journalism and plunged into the nightmare of full-scale manufacture from home. His biggest problems were making them fast enough to satisfy the demand and ironing out the huge number of detailed design flaws. The awesome demand and the resultant full order book and instant national distribution ensured the survival of the fledgling business despite horrific experiences at times. Over the next 24 years that George Lewin owned and ran it, Triton grew into an Australian hardware icon. Total sales are approaching 300 million from domestic and many overseas markets, and the company and its many markets have won numerous national and international awards. In late 1999, George Lewin eventually sold his business to Hills Industries and went into so-called retirement near Byron Bay to try and reinvent himself and to cure his chronic workaholism. However, retirement didn't suit him, and he felt strongly the need to give back to the society that had so enriched him. What better use of his wealth and his experiences than to foster other inventors? And to that end, George launched the Triton Foundation at the National Innovation Summit in Melbourne in February 2000 and pledged a donation of $3 million for its establishment. Chancellor, it is with great pleasure that I present to you George Lewin for admission to the degree of Doctor of Engineering, honoris causa.
By the authority delegated in me by the Council, I hereby admit George Lewin to the degree of Doctor of Engineering, honoris causa. We will now have a musical interlude presented by Francine Bell from the Faculty of Music.
Good morning, everyone. May I have your permission to take off my coat? It's a bit warm in here. I think I might be able to reach the higher notes if I do that. Okay. Oh, thank you. I get help. Oh, can I have a guy? I love you, but... Oh. Okay. She knows what to do. Thank you, Lord. Woohoo! Okay, that one? Yeah, no, we gotta take that off. And let's see if we can do this. Okay, I'll turn around here for a second, because it is a bit warm, you know, and I tell you what, you know. Okay. Anybody got a scissor? Oh, you hold this. I was told I had to keep the hat. That robe was just too formal. The song that I've selected today is entitled Ride On, King Jesus. Some of you might ask why I've chosen a song of that particular title. Well, one of the key lyrics in the song is, "No man can hinder me." And I'm sure today that the graduates are feeling that way. And thank you, Dr. Lewin, because wherever you are, you're an inspiration to me. Sometimes the conventional way is not always the way that's going to get you there. How many times were you rejected, Dr. Lewin, before someone saw your genius? Jesus Christ started his ministry as a young man. And he didn't take what was considered the conventional way. Some would say that the way he chose was extremely difficult, but what it was most certainly was highly sacrificial. But I think whatever we believe, Jesus Christ and his life have to be seen. He has to be seen as a success, because 2,000 years after he trod his sacrificial path, millions around the world continue to follow the cause that he proclaimed. Today, guys and dolls, it's graduation day. You're supposed to go, woo! Chancellor, do I have permission to let them do that? And he looks spectacular, don't you think? They look gorgeous. Applause, applause. Yes. Woo, he's beautiful, yes. Now on 3, because you're really, really happy that you've trod this sacrificial path, okay? You're gonna let out the biggest woo, and you guys can join them, that you have ever heard. 1, give me some music, Terrence. 2, 3, woo! Y'all sounded like wimps. Didn't they? We'll try it again, Terrence. 1. Oh, come on with it. Oh, he's beautiful too. 2, 3. Woo! I think we should applaud them. What do you think? Well, today is graduation day, and no doubt you'll have people calling and seeking to direct your path. But whatever you do, stand upon the strong foundation that this great university has given you. Believe in yourselves. Absolutely ride on for the cause that you want to proclaim. And you'll be able to stand courageously and say, without any problem and with sure conviction, no man can hinder me. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you. Before I begin, everybody please welcome Terrence Koo on piano. Thank you. Ride on, King Jesus, no man can hinder me. Ride on, King Jesus, no man can hinder me. I was but young when I began. No man can hinder me. But now my race is almost done. No man can hinder me. No man can hinder me. Ride on, King Jesus. No man can hinder me. Ride on, King Jesus. No man can hinder me. King Jesus rides a milk-white horse. No man can hinder me. The river Jordan, cannot hinder me. No man cannot hinder me. Ride on, Jesus. Ride on, Jesus. Ride on, Jesus. No man can hinder me. And thank you
Well, thank you,
to my
Francine Bell.
assistant.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to invite Dr. Lewin to deliver the occasional address.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the Council, staff of the University, distinguished guests, parents, and most of all, fellow graduates. I'm deeply honoured to be standing before you here today, and my only regret is that my parents didn't live long enough to join us on this memorable occasion. They would have been kvelling. Kvelling is a Yiddish word to describe the almost indescribable joy that only parents can feel when they've projected all their dreams and aspirations onto their children and then actually seen them realised. But anyway, I'm here to tell you a bit more about my story because some of it might be of value to you in your careers. Some idiot once said that if you invent a better mousetrap, the world will beat a path to your door. Well, even though the world did eventually beat a path to my door, it was only after I'd been on national television. And in general, the person who popularised that mantra has a lot to answer for. A much wiser man, Thomas Edison, said, "Invention is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration." I'm much more inclined to his view. As you heard, the light globe inspiration, which is at the heart of the Triton Work Centre, came in a nanosecond, and it wasn't rocket science, and actually it couldn't have happened to a less likely looking guy on the face of it. I knew almost nothing about woodwork apart from that writing desk I built as a student, and I was all of 3 weeks into my new hobby. But with hindsight, it was probably that very innocence that was the key to my ingenuity. Unguided by the tram tracks of conventional wisdom, I was able to come up with a simple, lateral idea, a solution to the cutting problems that were bugging me, and as it turns out, thousands, millions of other would-be handymen hobbyists. And that was how to use a power saw accurately, safely, and with fine control to build decent-looking furniture with it. I had, in a few weeks, with a few bits of wood, aluminium extrusion, and chipboard, replicated the basic functions of my next-door neighbour's radial arm saw and his table saw, the 2 machines I was going to use before he moved out. My homemade gadget was horrible to look at, very clunky to use, not very safe, but it worked. That was the easy bit, the 1%. The perspiration began as the product potential of my saw bench dawned on me. Conventional wisdom at that time decreed that radial arm saws and table saws had to be heavy, cast iron, complex, bolted down to the floor, and very costly in terms of both dollars and workshop space, so we're clearly out of the reach of the average hobbyist. My idea was a radical departure. It was made of sheet metal, simple and pretty safe to use, relatively accurate, portable, storable, and most important, inexpensive enough to be able to be afforded by or justified by the average hobbyist. I thought it was a great idea, novel and innovative, but to my amazement, the argument that it was too innovative was used again and again as a negative during those 16 frustrating months of trying to license or sell my idea. People who should have known better, the top people at power tool companies, hardware chains, major tool retailers, distributors, they all said the same thing. Too different, too hard to sell, too hard to get it approved, too much development needed, too little margin, too small a market, just too hard. None of them could see the potential that by now was obsessing me. Fortunately, youthful passion doesn't listen to reason, so I kept going despite their negativity. And that brings me to make the point that Francine made a moment ago. If my experience is any guide, follow your gut, follow your passion, despite what experts might tell you. Question and challenge the dominant paradigm. Adopt a view of healthy skepticism when someone tells you, oh, you can't do that, or it'll never work, if you have a hunch that it might. Delight in flying in the face of conventional wisdom, because that's the way to push the envelope of human knowledge and social development. And be aware that people do tend to resist change, and this is particularly true if they have comfortable jobs with large and secure organisations. I came across, and no doubt so will you, huge corporate risk aversion and decision-making which is glacial in pace. Don't let it stop you. Provided you do reality checks from time to time to ensure that you're not flogging a dead horse, keep pushing your ideas forward. The more radical they are, the harder it'll be to get them adopted, but the more worthwhile they'll be in the end. Persistence and tenacity are key ingredients in innovation development. There is no easy road. I almost walked away several times during those early years. First when I got stuck building that dining table, then after 16 months of trying to sell my patent, and then there are another couple of excruciating occasions when the backyard manufacture had become a nightmare of the worst order. 20, 22-hour days, 7 days a week, about 360 days a year, frantic activity, and a house that resembled the local tip. Desperate design changes had to be made from batch to batch to correct detailed design problems, and with every problem that I fixed, I inadvertently created new ones. And all of this against a background of customers who are constantly begging, badgering, or threatening me for their stock deliveries. I'd gone from a cushy and charismatic job as a journalist where I earned $20,000 or more. In 1976, that was a huge amount of money. And I did it in 30 hours, 30 easy hours a week. And suddenly I'd gone to 140 hours a week, frantic work, and barely breaking even because I didn't know how to do a costing on my product properly. So the only thing that kept me going during that nightmare, during those first 5 years, was the seemingly endless demand created by the Inventors TV show, which some of you won't remember, but some might. Without that TV show, the Triton workbench would almost certainly have been one of the early business failures, no matter how hard I worked, no matter how smart I was. I hung in on a learning curve that was nearly vertical, and I made almost every single commercial and technical mistake there is to make, generally, hopefully, only once each. I trod on every single mine in the landmine of innovation development for a startup, but I was invulnerable because of that awesome demand unleashed by the TV show. It gave me the grace of time to get my act together as a designer, manufacturer, and marketer of woodworking machines that were as good in execution as they'd always been in concept. There are many lessons I learned the hard way in those early years that have since become business and marketing truisms. Among them, listen closely to your customers, because sometimes they know more than you do. Well, in my case, they almost all knew more than I did. I had to listen. Service your customers to pieces. You can't give too much service. My inexperience caused huge customer problems in the beginning. The least I could do was develop the right attitude and try to fix them. It became ingrained in the corporate culture. Dedicate yourselves to continuous improvement. It was at least 5 years before the product design of the Triton workbench finally started to settle down. But by then, it had become a habit to constantly improve our products, our marketing, and our customer service. Finally, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes were all I knew back then, but somehow if you fixed them and learned, then they weren't so bad after all. They happened for a reason, to teach you something, and they were far preferable to wimping out and doing nothing. Several people have come up to me over the years and said to me, you know, I invented a saw bench just like you back in the 60s. The trouble was that they didn't do anything with it. They relied on the 1% inspiration, and the world most certainly did not beat a path to their door. I could go on, but time's against us, and I wanted to spend the balance of this address telling you about the Triton Foundation, which is something that I'm setting up with the help of a distinguished board of directors. It's not for profit, and it's being funded by myself with contributions from the Victorian government, the Queensland government, and in-kind support from the federal government. It will do for up-and-coming inventors what the ABC TV show did for me back in 1976. It'll give them national exposure on a primetime TV show. Our working title is The Clever Country. But before putting them on TV, it will mentor them to ensure that, unlike myself, they are ready for the exposure. Inventors, especially the first-timers, will get what I so hoped for back then: good, unbiased advice on patent protection, prototype building, testing, approvals, market research, business plans, licensing, capital raising, manufacturing. The Foundation will provide free or subsidised advice and services to inventors and researchers from most fields and at most stages of development, from backyarders to small research teams to innovative SMEs. Not for the big guys who can pay for their own advertising and marketing, but for the smaller startups. Our organisation is currently being set up, a Chief Executive Officer has been appointed, and the TV series has been designed. It's been offered to 2 leading networks with very favourable responses, and although no commitment has yet been made, negotiations are continuing. The Clever Country TV show will be an amalgam of the inventors, Beyond 2000 and Quantum, a blend of high-tech, medium-tech and low-tech ideas. It'll create the exposure that's so desperately needed by startups, but will also take it one step further by taking advantage of new technology. This will be convergent media at its best, because viewers will be encouraged to ring a 1300 number or to log on to the Clever Country website and interact with either a computerised voice or a questionnaire and express their detailed opinions on what they've just seen. Using their phone keys or their mouse, viewers will answer a whole series of multiple choice questions, including, for example, their preferred size, capacity, functionality, option level, materials, mode of operation, even the preferred colours. Viewers will also be able to enter values, giving their price expectation, and will be able to gauge their reaction when they're told the likely selling price. A nationwide audience will be avidly watching this program under ideal conditions at home, and they'll all see the identical presentation. And the viewers will be responding because they have a self-interest in acquiring one of these products or inventions shown. And so for all of those reasons, the feedback is going to be so much more accurate than that given to supermarket pollsters who corner you in the aisle with their clipboard. This instant, accurate national market feedback will be solid gold to our inventors. In the 24 years that I ran Triton's R&D department, I know just how much time and effort is spent wheel spinning, trying to guess what the marketplace wants and at what price. We can take a lot of the guesswork out of it and help a lot of our inventors avoid costly mistakes. One final benefit is that viewers will be able to leave their phone number or their email address in one of, say, 5 separate lists. Potential consumers who want one. They're your early adopters, your early cash flow. Investors who want to put money into it. Manufacturers who want a quote on it. Marketers who think they can sell it. Or indeed fellow researchers who can see an application of that technology in whatever they're working on, or vice versa. With all of these benefits, we hope to get many inventors to the starting line each year with nitroglycerin in their running shoes. We'll create a lot of heroes. Their ideas will get up much, much faster than currently, and they'll do much better on global markets, if indeed they have that potential, because their technology will still be fresh and new, but they'll have all of the experience and the cash flow from a successful domestic business. And then there's a bigger picture. Through mentoring our inventors and giving them TV exposure, we will inform, entertain and inspire the general public, and that will achieve our main goal, which is to promote a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship in Australia, particularly among our youth. We can do it. We can be the clever country. We made a major national effort to revitalise our sporting sector after the disaster of the Montreal Olympics, with government, industry, the media and the community groups all getting behind our sportsmen and sportswomen. That national effort culminated in the triumph of the Sydney Games. It's high time we did the same for our innovators and gave their ideas some more oxygen. If any of you believe you can help us achieve our goals, we'd love to hear from you. Find out more at www.triton-foundation.org. Thank you again for bestowing this great honour upon me, and I'd like to finish by wishing you all the very, very best in your future careers. Thank you.
Dr. Lewin, that was a very inspiring address, and all of us here hope that the Triton Foundation starts with a bang, plenty of nitroglycerin, and goes from strength to strength, and I'm sure we'll all be behind it. I now have great pleasure in inviting Terence Summers to speak on behalf of the graduates.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the Council, staff of the University, families and friends of graduates, and most importantly, graduates. I feel personally honoured to have been asked to speak on behalf of the graduates at this ceremony. Honoured, but more than a little daunted by the task of speaking on behalf of graduates from such a wide range of disciplines. And even more daunted when I've got to follow what I've just seen. I'm an engineer, and like most engineers, I've had little contact with students from other faculties, except for some common mathematics and physics in the first and second years of the degree. The old joke about engineers not knowing about the library on the other side of the engineering bridge has perhaps got some basis in fact. The question I asked myself when preparing this speech was, where is the common ground? I guess the answer to that question is that we've all completed a degree at this university. Each of us would have started here with different expectations and ambitions, and during the course of that degree, we finished, those expectations and ambitions would have changed to compensate for speed humps that had to be negotiated and the fact that we've all matured and grown emotionally as well as intellectually. So what have we had in common? We've all sat exams, some of which may have seemed to be for the wrong subjects, and waited with trepidation for the results. We've formed new friendships, broadened our views through interaction with the wider student body. Some of us, for the first time, have had an opportunity to work closely with international students from vastly different cultures than our own. We've all attended lectures and tutorials, completed assignments, written reports or essays, and most, if not all, have partaken of a beverage or two in one of the union bars. All, I'm sure, would have had no trouble finding a car park, And most of us would have at some stage formed a close personal relationship with one or two of the local mosquitoes. Many of us would have wondered if it was worth all the effort at times. I know I have. The reason being that each and every one of us have had to make personal and financial sacrifices in order to achieve what we've achieved. Most of us would not have been able to cope with the workload or the lack of money or the exam stress without the support and understanding of the university staff, both academic and general, and of course our family and friends. On behalf of the graduates, I would like to extend our thanks to the lecturers, tutors and support staff of the faculties of Music, Economics and Commerce and Engineering. To those of you who are not engineers, I can only hope that your lecturers were of the same high standard as the ones that I studied under. Due to them in the main, not only will I leave this university with knowledge and skills, but also a thirst to learn more and a desire for excellence that I hope will remain with me for the rest of my life. Our family and friends undoubtedly have provided our greatest support. I would like to thank and congratulate them. In a way, they graduate today too. I'd particularly like to thank my wife Lynn and my children Cara and Amy. I sincerely hope that the rest of the partners, parents and children of today's graduates didn't have to put up with the bad temper and moodiness that I displayed far too frequently. Today, I guess we graduates are filled with a mixture of emotions, a sense of achievement, pride, and the relief of knowing that the piece of paper we strive to obtain is finally in our hands. A piece of paper that I hope flags the start of full and rewarding careers for each of us. Congratulations to all of you, and the best of luck with whatever you may do in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Terence Summers, for that speech. I now declare the ceremony concluded. May I invite all present to join us for a cold drink in the marquee adjoining the Great Hall. I imagine today it's a fairly cold drink indeed. But please join us. The University Union also invites you to make your way afterwards to the Shortland Union building where Devonshire tea will be served. You will also be able to order photographs, have your testamers framed and view a range of university memorabilia for sale. So it's all happening at the Union. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us outside first.